Hi, it's Victor here from Trend Following Trading for Beginners. And in today's episode, I want to talk about making money quickly versus making money slowly. Coming up next. Hi everyone. Today's episode bring back memories of what is happening over the Christmas and New Year, and everybody else been celebrating with my friends and family, and obviously just chit chat about how things have been doing, everybody, and what everyone has been up to. I mean, it's sort of like a yearly gathering for me with my friends, and just go for a drink and so forth, some meal. And basically, obviously, talking about each other, what's doing, and I'm talking about all the time is my job as well as family, as well as trading. And some of them, I've told them during the year that I started a podcast, and some of them are asking how am I doing with my trading in general, and obviously there's discussion just. Let's see how everybody else is and how they're trading, how I'm trading. Most people that most of my friends they do trade, but I'm not professionally or even part time, and basically just dabble in the market, and they just want to listen to tips and learn something quickly and make some money and just try to repeat the whole process again. And some of them actually want to learn to trade, but the main problem they face is they basically want to make money very quickly. They go into this notion that, like Forex, for example, people see them systems being advertised either on via email or website or through YouTube or internet, whatever, and find that they've been bombarded with request to go on this webinar or this check this website and then look at the system, how wonderful they are and how much money they're missing, not making all this money, and then basically say you can do that too. And then some of my friends actually bought some of those systems and then turn up it's not what they thought. Not just a lot of work, but a lot of time doesn't deliver, and they basically got burned, so to speak. So a lot of them basically just very skeptical about what I'm doing, because they obviously got burned before and not sure what first of all, I don't even know what trend following is, which I have to explain to them. Secondly, is mainly is whatever system you're using, how can I trust that it will make me money? I mean, they basically just throw back what the experience is, and we basically chit chat, and they want to find out how I trade, how I make money, the type of problems that I've seen, that kind of thing. I think this is a very general problems I've seen in new traders when I talk to different people over the years. Is basically that for new traders, they want to make money. They initially all start just like myself, with some tips from friends or from newspapers or watch from TV or something, follow some show, and just bought into some shares or indices or forex and make some money. Worse still, like myself, makes quite a bit of money at the start, and so everything was easy. Then try to put more money into my trading account, and then end up blowing the lot and again, because I have this notion that just like buying a lottery ticket, things can turn up very quickly and make me money. But the hard fact truth is there's so many people out there telling you that you can make money very quickly, very easily, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't. I mean, this is a general industry-wise problem. That there's a lot of genuine people out there teaching you how to trade, but there's also a lot of market, just sellers, just selling you a system. Just they just selling you things. They don't. First of all, they don't even trade. Secondly, they don't have a system that they even believe in. Let alone teaching you what happened when they face a problem. All they doing basically just sell you a system, take the commission, and just walk, so to speak. So I faced that, and then up to a point that basically say, okay, I still want to do trading, but how am I going to move forward? And I struggle just like all new trader, basically just to find something that I can put my teeth into, and something that I can trust and work on. And a lot of time I basically it's just myself. My system is more of a self-discovery, find out what it works, what does not work, and I got some of the information from internet and basically try and test it, and then find out my system, basically the things I follow is something called trend following, and it seems to work for me because it's follow a set of rules. But I was like everybody else, suffering from trying to make money very quickly, didn't have the right skills, let alone the right mindset, and didn't do all the right thing, and then end up blowing account after and again, one after another. And the things that make me slightly different from my friends are I just don't give up, and I just asking the question, how can I make money with whatever I've got? Is there a way? I mean, there's all these people out there in the industry making money. There must be a way, and I basically just want to find my way into making money in the market. And luckily I found a way which some things that a system that works for me as well as to my taste. I mean, the style doesn't fit, just like glove or thing. It doesn't, or your new shirt, it doesn't feel right, even though the shirt is what you need. You look nice in it, but you don't feel right. It just doesn't feel comfortable because it's new and you never tried before, and then it takes some time to get used to. And the same thing with trend following for me anyway. It is, especially I was thinking making money very quickly, and I like the adrenaline, the high, and when I'm making money and so forth, and try to make money quickly so I can go holidays and buy something for myself and my family, that kind of thing, have a easier life, or retire earlier. Those kind of thinking was always in my mind. But then it turns out this is totally wrong. I mean, trading is very much a slow process. It's a skill that anybody can learn, whatever type of trading is out there that generally making money. But the problem is, like any skills, it takes time to, first of all, take time to learn, find the right teacher to teach you. Secondly is you have the right mindset to continue and never give up. And thirdly is it just takes time. It takes time to perfect your skills, just like cooking a dish. Even making an egg, an omelet, it takes some time, because at the start you probably don't know what you're doing. You probably put the wrong things in the pan and burn it, or too high the heat, or use the wrong type of pan to cooking and sticking all over in the pan, and most of it stuck in the pan then on your plate, those kind of thing. It's no difference in trading. It takes time to learn, and takes time to perfect it. It takes time also to understand that most of all, trading is not about just making money, to my mind. It's more about knowing yourself, knowing what you can do, what you cannot do, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and find something that fits your personality. For me, trend following sort of fit me because I am fit my type, because I'm a software engineer, and also as well. Basically, I've done my degree in electrical engineering, so quite systematic, doing things quite based on calculation, that kind of thing. And I always like to fall back onto my equation. And trend following is just right for me because there's so much noise out there when you're trading, especially last couple of weeks or so, when there was all the hoo-ha between U.S. and Iran, and the market fluctuating in gold and oil price and the foreign exchange up and down, and you basically just feel lost. I mean, these are the type of situation where lots of people make lots of money when the market is fluctuating, but at the end of the day, is they all have a system, they all have a way to do things, and then you as an amateur just try to go and make some money in the middle of this fluctuation, volatile market. And a lot of them, I remember I got burned a lot of times like that before too, and this just the way to trade for me is following some rules. And yes, I make some money out of this volatility, but all because I was looking, following my rules. And obviously I didn't make all the money that I would like to make, but the trading rules are there to help me. And I think that the main things that most people, like I said before, is they just want to do it too quickly. They don't think about long term. It doesn't give the time to actually to learn the skill, to actually need to make the money, and they, most of all, like myself too, just never realize how much work it is to involve to actually get to at least not losing loads of money. Most people out there just want to make money very quickly. They forget, 70-80% of retail traders lose money in 6 months, lose all their account, blow their account, and most of them don't even come back. And 20 to 30% of people actually make money, or minimum, in a market, not losing loads of money, to stop the bleeding, so to speak, from bleeding the account, so to speak. And a lot of people don't even realize it. By making even £1 or $1, whatever, you're making money. You are already better than 75% of people out there who didn't make money and blow up their account. And all you then from there on to do is to try to work slowly towards, the top 5%, top 10% of people who make money, and, a little bit to, quite a bit to able to live off it and continue to grow that as your profession, or at least, something that you do for the rest of your life. But while this is happening, people always get bombarded. Even now I still get email all the time saying, why don't you, come to my webinar and show you how to do things. And people have, this week you make 200 beeps, or this month you just missed it, you make 3,000 beeps, and if you trade £1 a pawn, you basically lost the opportunity to make yourself £3,000, or if you £10 a pawn, £30,000 in a month. I mean, if you're just selling you that type of dreams, a lot of people got into it. But for me, I basically just delete that email because I know now all this is possible. But you have to have a system that actually you can trust and you follow it through, and all the time to actually make those type of money. Let's say £3,000 a month. It's not impossible, but you need to know what you're doing. You can make a lot more too. It's just basically numbers, but if you don't have the right mindset and the skill, and especially for me, it's the mindset and money management, you most likely kill your account, blow up your account, and not to mention how much emotional turmoil it will cause yourself and make yourself very angry, and and obviously your family suffer as well, because your family and friends talk to you after when that's normal, and when you lose quite a bit of money, you vent your anger to them, and then basically that cause a lot of issue in the home as well. Not to mention you lose quite a bit of money when you're angry, obviously, and then you lost your financial temperament, so to speak. So for me, basically, I mean, this topic is really dear to me because I've suffered a lot from it, and I learned to to make money in a slow way, very, very slowly. First of all, for me anyway, I think for a new trader, they need to think about trading is a skill. It takes some time to learn. Each people is different, how fast they learn. Some people can find trading very easy, can learn very quickly. Other people take years to actually learn. Even tens of years is still making break even, not moving forward, that kind of thing. And even more so, people don't talk enough about is the mentality, the mindset. It's the kind of things that you need to have. So for me anyway, for trend following, I'm lucky that I found a system that I like and I can stick with it. But from there on, basically, it's more like hard work, just like throwing a punch. That Bruce Lee say it doesn't scare of a person who have spent was it 10,000 kicks or something, or 10,000 punches from all different ways, but he's scared of a person who have done one kick but 10,000 times, so perfected the skill, just one skill. So it's the same thing here for trading. I just have to continue work on my trend following system and basically follow it through and read books and mindset development about it. So this is what I basically think people should do. First of all is have a longer term view. If you're new to trading, no matter what style you take, it takes some time, and you have to be realized that this, when I say take some time, is a year, 2 years, maybe 5 years. That kind of time frame, not a couple of months or weeks or 6 months, that kind of thing. I mean, you can be, but just no, I haven't seen anybody like this, like that actually happening. Like even people in gymnastics or snookers or football or whatever, all those skills take years to develop, even though they have the aptitude and physical strength and body size to do things, they need to still work on themselves. It takes years to come to the top, and to the top 1% of any field. They sacrifice a lot. That means they only just do that things. Let's say football, they just do football and they train, I don't know, 10, 15 hours a day and just football. They don't do anything else, and they go out and play, and for whatever company that employ them, and basically that's what they do. But they actually do the work 8 to 10 hours a day, every day on the same thing: football, 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 football. They don't just go 2 hours football here, 1 hour swimming here. Go to sleep for 5 hours, and then come on and play some cards for another 10 hours or something. They don't. They just concentrate on doing football. So same thing on trend following or trading. You need to find a system and concentrate on that system, and basically just work on that and follow the system through and different conditions. And also at the same time, you need to me anyway, my view is you are the sum of the people that you mix around with. So trading could be a lonely business. It is a lonely business. A lot of time you just trade on your own. Your friends around you may know a bit about or might be against it, and you're basically on your own doing it and following your own systems, and you don't have anybody to reflect your or bounce idea back off to, and to listen to each other, pitfalls and learn from each other, that kind of thing. And it could be very, very lonely. So one thing I would suggest is, go out and join some group or seminar or team, whatever it is. Go out there and learn, get to know other traders. Doesn't matter what type of skills they use for trading, but the common problem they will face, and you can learn from them and then share your experience with them. And then those type of people who would like to use trading, share trading or forex or indices to make a living, and then to supplement the pension for better lifestyles or something, but at least you're on the same level. Try to better yourself. In this case, okay, maybe just for trading, but other people might be used doing properties or buying and selling business or doing some other things. But at least they're moving forward, and that's the type of people you want to be mix yourself with as well. And those are important. And obviously, because trading, you want to surround yourself with people who actually trade as well. And it doesn't matter what type of trading strategy. It would be best to just use trend following as well. But if not, even forex or day trading, whatever, talk to them, mix with them. So at least you get a group of people around you and support for you as well. And then slowly you learn from them, and they learn from you as well, and you all get better rather than just on your own. And just you thought, try to kill the world just with yourself. Remember, out there's a team of people out there. You're facing individual retail traders as well as professional traders who have teams of people behind them. Okay, they put hundreds of pounds in the market or millions in the market every single day and trade. Okay, and for whatever reason, and you on your own little person, just like the attitude I think given by Rich Dad is, we go into the market like ourselves because that's what we've been taught in school. To get good grade means you just have to do it yourself. You don't tell anybody, don't share with everyone. You're on your own. You just do your things, do your calculation, do your exam, do your test, whatever. But out there, it's different. It's very much like a march, like a football team, like a basketball team. Whatever, it's a number of people supporting you, working together. You supporting others supporting you. It's a team sport out there, and you try to win against a team. You get better chance if you just a support system around you and people who help you and move forward than just on your own. And that's something that I definitely learned a lot. That helps me. And the other things I think, for me, and if let's for example for trend following, the first thing you need to know is know your system. You need to learn if you're okay with your system. Okay, so say for example, my way I grow is, I got this trend following system. It's very simple. It's 50 days over 200-day moving average, a slightly modification of it. You can find on the internet. And the main thing for trend following is you never get in the top, you never get in the bottom. You always take the meat of the trade, so to speak. And because trend following, you look for big long trend. Okay, and that's the type of thing I do. And first of all, is the first year, don't expect to make money. You stick with your system, learn about the trade, learn about the system ins and out of it, and basically just first year, just follow your trend following system or whatever system you use. So in this case, it's trend following system, and basically just trade and look down what you going into market, what price, what you come out with, why you went in, the journaling, and also the comments, and then while the trade is going, put a general trading journal around, not just tracking the actual trade, how much you buy, how much you sell, and how much money you make, those kind of things, but also tracking how you feel, what you're thinking, what type of general market condition it is, any news, like for example, Donald Trump tweets something, China and US is signing a deal, so how it move the market might affect your particular trade, and how does that work, or you have sorry to say, let's say family issue, did you stick with your system? Did you just suddenly just close everything, or you just add a trade without looking at your system, without checking with your system, and just trade for frustration, just try to do something, that type of thing. It matters, but if you don't write them down, you never know, because you need this to go back and review it. So every time you make a trade, when you stopped out whatever your system is telling you to do, you follow it and you come out of the trade, you got to review it and go back every 3 months. Even I do every month initially, and then 3 months and 6 months, and then at the end of the year I basically just look at the big trade I've done, and it sort of helps me. The whole thing doing this is, first of all, you get to know your system. Secondly, you get in a good habit of writing things down. Thirdly, you also understand how you think. And slowly you found a lot of problems that you face in trading within the first year is, small minor problems that you can fix. And slowly you use like what you call, in engineering, it's more like a closed loop system. Basically, you take a bit of output, put it back into the input, and then your system will improve over time, so long you change your rule to cope with that kind of thing. So it's the same thing. So you must review your trade and then try to put them back in your system and learn from it. So next time when you have similar situation, let's say you are having an issue at home, or having a shouting match at work, or not doing very well at work, whatever it is, you don't go and suddenly open a trade just out of frustration, just to get some high kind of thing. You just leave your system alone, just follow the rules and make sure that you follow the rule. Doesn't matter if whatever emotional state you are, that kind of thing. That sort of stuff that you catch them while you're doing the first year. So the first year basically is learning about the system, as well as learning about yourself, learning about your mistake, learning about how you can cover some of those mistakes. And you slowly will see within the first year, hopefully, that you don't get all these what I call shark bite, suddenly lose one trade, loads of money. You probably get a lot of piranhas bite, small little cats. Basically account there can be killed by either one big major or a couple of big major losses, or by death by 1,000 cuts. And you basically look at all those basically let's say small losses that you made, how you can improve them. Let's say also look at your the trading volume, how much you actually given to the stockbroker or whatever the services I use, how much you pay to the broker, those kind of thing, and try to cut them down. And then slowly you find out a lot of those small little problems can be removed if you actually follow the system. I did. I basically the first year I tried to follow the system, but a lot of time I don't. I've also have issues and then write them. But good things I track them and then find out there's certain thing I don't shouldn't do. It's one thing I think. Something that you need to learn. I think somebody say this. I can't remember his name. It's one of the great traders with Michelin Fund or something. Basically, he said a lot of people lose money anticipating the trend, anticipating the movement of a stock. He's more into stock, and try to get in early without having the confirmation from whatever system he's using. And that's quite true, because a lot of time when I was suffering with piranha small cut problems, is that I try to anticipate the market. Okay, I might have my stop loss in place, following my stop loss, but a lot of time I shouldn't go in the market. My system said don't go in the market, but some other reason I went in the market and lost. And I continue to do that quite a number of times over the years. And I can remove those mistakes, and that only sort of shows you if you write things down. Okay, so the small little stuff, that are things. The second year, basically, you will continue as trend following. If you read the Complete Total Trader book, which it talks about the total trading systems, which I use for my update, system 2. One of the things they actually talk about there is the pyramiding. It's a very powerful tool, but it's like a two-edged sword. You use it correctly, it makes you a lot of money. You use it poorly, it costs you a lot of money as well. So in second year, I would suggest you, after you got to know your system, more comfortable with it, still writing things down, start to add extra trade. Use that book. Use, I think, chapter 5, chapter 6. Go and read it, The Complete Total Trader by Michael Covel, and basically add a single pyramid trade. On the second year on your trading, when you're trading your system, trend following system. And basically, writing seems like a note how you feel when you're making money. Now this time you make, hopefully, because you pyramiding trade, I'm assuming you will double. Let's say you only, for example, using spread betting, you bet £1 a pawn. Now this time, when the market go in your favor, let's say the price move up 5%, you put another pound on. So now you risk £2 per pawn at some stage. How do you feel at the time? How do you feel when you're making money? How do you feel you get stopped out? You lose a lot more now because you got £2 per pawn. How do you feel? Is there a way that you can try to reduce those losses? Is that does it fit your personality and continue you trade like that? Can you feel yourself more comfortable? Okay, how often you lose, how often you win? When you win, how do you feel? How fantastic your feeling it is. Write them down, all this stuff. And when you lose, how you feel, write them all down as well. And then slowly you get used to having the pyramiding trade happening. So don't be greedy though. First, the second year, don't try and put extra pyramiding trade on. Remember this still a learning curve to do things. But second year basically is you do whatever you did the first year, but put an extra trade on, and just see how you feel. Write them down, see how you cope, how you can remove your mistakes, and journaling, and basically talking about how you actually trade yourself. And then read through your journaling, review your trade, and see how it goes. And slowly you find out the issue as well, and then you can minimize that. Okay. For me, basically, I just pyramid in the wrong place, and I pyramid a lot more. I didn't follow the rules, like what I just said. Just do one pyramid thing. I do follow the books, what the trend following system say. Do the five pyramiding trade, and I found myself, wow, really, really bad, suffering a lot of emotion ups and down, and I basically cut it back. I just do one. And instead of 1 year, I spent 18 months, because the first 6 months or so I do also funny things, and I give myself more time and just basically do another year, just doing one extra trade. So I have one original trade when my system says so, and then I use the pyramiding rule in the Complete Total Trader to just add one more trade on. And I slowly found, first is stick to it. Second is to find out, how I feel and the type of problems I face. I try to minimize it, and then next is basically get comfortable with it, winning and losing, and going forward. And that's my second 2.5 years. This is how I sort of grow. And then the third year I had 2 pyramiding trade on it, and then the fourth year is 3 pyramiding in 5 years, and basically finally to the full 4 pyramiding trade. So in summary, in total, you have 5 trades if the market is go in your favor, so to speak. So, but while that is happening, while I'm learning it caused me a lot of extra emotional pain, especially when you put more than 3. For me anyway, once I put more than 3 trades on, the emotion ride up and down and making money, it really scares. It's just like, when you make £1 a pawn and the market go, £100 in your favor, then you put £5 in pawn, now it's £500 in your favor, and it suddenly drop back down to like 0 or minus 100, and you get out. That's the type of, mind problems. Can you cope with that kind of mind squeeze and twisting around by the market? And how do you feel? You're still following your rule, but the amount of the heat of portfolio is much increased now. How you think, how do you feel, affect how you react. It takes a lot of time to learn this, and overall, it took me more than 5 years to just doing the pyramid thing up to 4 pyramid plus the original one, like what the Computer Trader book says. But it was an eye opener, and once I cope with it, able to do it, I'm still doing it and still coping with it. I'm writing things down a lot of times. I'm a human being, so I make mistakes still too, but at least I more understand what the system is, and when it happens, I'm more comfortable, at least more patient, and let the system go. So if I put a full trade on, or full 5, original trade plus 4 pyramid trade up, and the market go against me and almost touching my stop loss, let it go until it touch my stop loss. But the roller coaster ride, I'm still writing down how I feel. Like I make 1,000, or suddenly going back down to 200, making 5,000 and going back down to 1,000. That kind of volatility in the market, it happens. And how do I feel? I write them all down, and I slowly learn to use it, to do it that way. And I think that this is basically what I do. And as a new trader, I think you can borrow some of these ideas. I even suggest, if you really want to impatient, you can cut down each of these phases into like 6 months. But I think 2.5 years to learn how you trade your system is bare minimum. You really need that to learn how your system goes in different situations, how you trade in different situations, how you do your record keeping, how you review your problems, your issues, how to keep track of stuff and still keep your old trading journal books or whatever in the computer, or write them down. I write them down myself. And then look at those charts and try to look at those old charts is some patterns, and can you learn from those patterns? And with that patterns around, stick them up in a book or in front of you. And then when the patterns happens, you remember, last time similar things happened like this. It might not necessarily the same every time, but at least you say, okay, that time that's happened, that's the year it happened, and I look through my journal, that's how I feel at the time, and then try to improve it next time. That sort of thing, and it's quite eye opener, and it's quite helpful for you. But don't rush in to try to trade and make money. To be reasonable, able to make money out of the market, it takes time. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're really serious in the trading, you need time to learn. And the other thing is, I would suggest you, if let's say do a calculation. Let's say you start off just normal calculation with 10,000 nominal money. Dollars or pounds, doesn't matter, and then calculate to make yourself, let's say, assuming you make 7% a year, and just do calculation. Okay, you 10,000 times 1.07. Just do that for 20 times, 5%, 20 years. You see that initially you start off with 10,000 pounds. Year 1 you make 700 quid, and then year 2 you make 1,400 something, and so forth. And you see, because of the compounding 7% effect, even though 7% is quite low, but if you able to achieve consistently, your $10,000, nominal $10,000 will turn into about just under 40,000 in 20 years. Okay, that's quite a bit of money, but that's only a very low 7%. And if you add to your account over time and things, this number will go high as well. However, the main idea here is do this calculation is you look at the actual money that you make is right, a lot more right at the end. When you're at the start, 7% doesn't mean much. Let's say £1,000 you start off this calculation with, £70 the first year, but then the last few years it's more like hundreds. Thousands of pounds suddenly just move even by 7%. And you got to remember, once your account size grow, even a small increase, you make quite a bit of money. And when you do this calculation, remember, you do this for times 20 times, okay? And that's represent 20 years, okay? Now, this is a type of things you can expect to happen if you do, let's say, 7%, but this takes 7% 20 years. Okay, so don't just think of I can make money right away, buy my Ferrari. And in fact, buy a Ferrari is stupid to me anyway, because if you want to drive one, just go and rent one for a few days. At least you feel about it. But the other thing is, you spend 100 grand or 20 grand on the Ferrari. I was just ask you, can you use this money to make you more money? Can you use this money to make more sensibly? That kind of thing. Like, buy a business that throw you cash flow to buy the house, or which that say, or a house, or something else. That kind of thing, that sort of stuff. But because you watch out your money, how you spend your money, how you grow your money, you start to understand and ask questions. Can I make more money using those extra money that I buy a car or a house or something? That kind of stuff. But that's separate, that's different. But your trend following trade, your trading slowly over time will change the way you think, you feel about money, and then you want to be more efficient. If let's say you can turn around consistently, 10% a year, you say, okay, 30 grand, let's say 200,000 pounds, I can make 10%, that's like 20 grand a year. Why am I going to spend 200,000 pounds or something on a Ferrari when you can use the same money and you turn it into 120 in 1 year, and I can just use that 20 grand to rent a Ferrari for 6 months or something. It doesn't matter. That kind of thinking. So you basically, instead of spending money on one go or something, which that point that call doodads, you create something that create a cash flow to actually pay for it. But that's a separate question. But once you start doing trading and screwing your mind the right way, you start to think of other way to make money too, and that's a good thing. But the main thing about this calculation is, even 7% on 10,000, you make 40,000. But only the last couple, 2 or 3 years, really the big difference shows up. Suddenly you jump from making a little bit hundreds into thousands and tens of thousands quite quickly if you continue with these calculations. So I hope this episode is useful and you have learned something. And if you liked my podcast in general, just tell your friends about it and ask them subscribe, and you subscribe as well. And I hope to speak to you soon. Bye for now.